Elated to acknowledge and welcome the presence of His Excellency from Brunei, His Excellency Dato Paduka Siddiq Ali. Sir, thank you very much for being here today. Thank you very much, sir. I again take privilege in welcoming and thanking His Excellency Mr. Ong Sian from Cambodia. Thank you very much, sir, for being here today. It's a real privilege. Let me take an opportunity to welcome the new ambassador of Philippines to India, and it's a pleasure to have you with us here today, His Excellency Mr. Raman S. Bhagat Singh Jr. Thank you very much, Excellency. And I think I was really delighted to see when we had His Excellency from Singapore, Ambassador from Singapore, Mr. Lim Chuan Kwan, who arrived today at the meet. Thank you very much, Excellency. It's a sheer privilege to have you with us today. You're one of the most, I think, bright economy in the ASEAN region. You make the ASEAN region shine, I think. And we have a company called Go Global Shine from your country as well. So I would like to thank all the diplomats who are here from all the ASEAN countries. Thank you very much, Deputy Chief of Mission, Myanmar, from Czech Republic, we have from Laos, we have from all the other countries. Thank you so much for being here today. It's time that I invite Mr. Ajay Podar, who has been working tirelessly on this summit day in, day out. He made my life miserable, I must tell you, but I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed being miserable. Thank you very much for doing that, Mr. Podar. I'd like to request you to come for a theme address.
Good morning, everybody. Namaste, Ayubowan, Swadika, Salamat Pagi, Balaba Kinba, Ciao Bu Sang. You are all welcome. Thank you very much for being here. I will welcome the Minister when he comes. Excellency Chutinton Wongsakti, Ambassador Royal and the Chair of the ASEAN region, Thai Ambassador. Sir Dr. D.K. Agarwal, our President, Sir Sanjay Agarwal, Senior Vice President, members of the Managing Committee, Vivek Sehgal, Excellencies from Dr. Ramesh from the ASEAN Business Council, Asia, AIBC, who has been supporting us, distinguished overseas and Indian delegates and guests, and excellencies from Singapore, Cambodia, Philippines, and all the other senior diplomats, and Brunei and all the senior diplomats. Thank you very much for being here. We are honored and delighted to welcome you to the first India-ASEAN Business Conference today, tomorrow, together, which is most appropriate in today's context, in the current context. To me, doubling of trade between India and ASEAN by 2 times in the last 10 years is an aberration. According to me, in the next 10 years, it should be at least 4 times. And I believe that it can be done. So from 142 billion at present, I believe that we can go to 550 billion by 2030. The India-ASEAN partnership holds immense potential for the future to transform into a sound economic partnership. Greater flow of goods, services, skilled workers, investment, joint scientific research, And of course, tourism will increase trade and enhance economic relations. With shared land and maritime boundaries, India-ASEAN relations are firmly embedded in culture, commerce and connectivity. Why do I say that trade can go up 4 times? Because we are the best of friends and we are brothers. We like, we respect and we welcome each other into our countries and our homes. Whenever I've been to any ASEAN country, I've not felt that I'm going overseas. The food is so familiar. We are abundantly blessed with the sun, which makes us smile, which makes us happy, and which makes our land fertile. What more do we want? We are good thinkers, and entrepreneurship is in our blood. When we went for these curtain raisers to all the countries, we met so many people who had so much of, there were no boundaries for them. They said, we want to have dealers. Their governments were supporting them. They were full of ideas. And the kind of packaging that we saw, the kind of products that we saw, and the kind of enthusiasm, even if they don't know the language, they know how to cross barriers. So this is what holds hope. I would like your indulgence to allow me to take you through how we planned this event. We formed a core committee of ambassadors. We told them that, look, this is not a PhD event. This is your event. And your sensibilities are as important to us as our priorities. It's not India versus Asia. It's India and ASEAN. I would actually even like to remove the hyphen which is used sometimes. So we did a few important things. We chose focus sectors, and those focus sectors were chosen where both India and ASEAN were equally involved. So sectors like IT, there are some countries where we export IT, there are some other countries where we take IT services. Education, the same thing happens. Tourism, both way flow. Health, again. Agriculture and food processing. So all the sectors that we chose, skilling, culture, these were all both ways. Then we decided to do curtain raisers. We said we must tell people that what is it all about? Why are we doing this? Because initially we were met with a certain skepticism and saying that there are so many ASEAN events being held and nobody is going to come. So we said, are we doing something meaningful? Is it required to be done? So during our visits we signed 6 MOUs, maybe more. Probably Vivek might correct me. And due to these visits about 40 delegates came. More could have come, but as you know, because of RCEP and because of so many other visits of our Prime Minister and so many things happening, there's been a lot happening in the last 1.5 months. And at least 40 people were very interested. But today, the presence of more than 80 overseas people, whether either delegates or diplomats, or people in India who are running companies from Malaysia, from Singapore, from Thailand, and more than 200 delegates gives us hope that this, in spite of some skepticism and roadblocks, this is a reiteration of the enthusiasm of everybody. The people we met, the services agreement has opened up opportunities for movement of both manpower and investments from either side between India and ASEAN economies. Though much progress has been made, there can be more, this can be enhanced if we remove certain barriers which are of a restrictive nature. They are security and data protection issues, non-recognition of qualifications, complex licensing procedures, lack of market knowledge, local certification clearances, amongst others. In view of this, the Government of India is committed to seek greater market access in services trade with ASEAN economies. we have now a new phenomenon. The private sector is stepping in, and that is why there is hope for this collaboration to go forward. And it will not only increase the services trade, but boost the growth in manufacturing and the agricultural sectors. Rate of full flow of goods, services, skilled workers and investments are expected not only to enhance economic relations further, but going forward, there are immense opportunities for enhancing Asia-India cooperation. Infrastructure development, development of smart cities, innovation and skill set enhancement, cooperation in science and technology are some of the sectors which I see immense promise, not only for doing business within ourselves, but I believe there is a strong case of some Indian and ASEAN countries collaborating and doing joint ventures and selling to the rest of the world. So that is what is the real picture. There are very meaningful and appropriate sessions which are planned. I must also thank, almost till 10 days back, most of the names that you see on this board as our co-organizers, like FICCI, like UN Global Compact Network, like Indian Green Building Council, and many others were not on board. But when they saw the seriousness with which they saw the intent of this event, they decided to come on board. And of course, I must thank AIBC and Dr. Ramesh for lending support from very early days, and all our other co-organizers, and of course my sponsors who opened out their hearts. And in spite of lack of certain state patronage, we were able to take care of this event. Thank you very much to all our sponsors who really made the day for us. I just want to tell you briefly about, I want to acknowledge the absolutely hard work which has been put in by our Principal Director Vivek Sehgal and his team, as well as the other Principal Directors and all other people of PhD Chamber. I also want to acknowledge our Senior Vice President and President, the kind of interest they took in this event. There are 3 sessions after this, which are focusing on 2 sectors each. We have about 15 key speakers, and I would go anywhere in the world to listen to these 15 people if they were all at one place. So I would strongly recommend to you that you should hear them, and there's a lot to gain and imbibe. After, there is an exhibition which is going on, so during the breaks, during the tea breaks, the lunch break, and after the event and tomorrow, please do visit. Some of them are very interesting. There is a very good cultural program in the evening, and followed by, so the cultural program can be attended by you. And tomorrow there is a special session between India and Vietnam, where about 18 delegates more are coming. And I urge most of you to come and attend this program. And also please fill up your forms for the B2B sessions. See the delegates who are there, overseas delegates. And if you have any interest, just put it forward to, if you don't even know whom to meet, some people from the diplomatic corps will figure out whether they will meet you directly or whom you should meet. So please take full advantage of these B2B sessions. And as we wait for the Minister, thank you very much for your attention. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, sir, for elaborating on what all we did. Thank you very much for complimenting the team PhD. I was a small instrument in only making things happen, but I'm sure my team PhD, my principal director, my director, Ranjit Mehta, director sitting here, Dr. Jatinder Singh, Dr. S.P. Sharma, who has made this report, which we will be releasing today. Thank you very much for doing the honors. I think there's a whole lot of people I could be naming till evening.
I forgot to thank my colleagues from the managing committee, Mr. Atul Anand and Mr. Vishal Jindal, and of course Ambassador Rajan and Rajan Sehgal ji, Anil ji, so many people who helped us very much in making this a success. Sorry.
Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you very much. I'd just like to add a couple of things to what Mr. Podar said. In the registration kits of all the Indian delegates who are here today, there is a form which is kept. So if you open up your folders, you will find a form which has the list of all the ASEAN delegates who are here with us today and tomorrow. A lot of you have already expressed interest in meeting them. However, it will be good if you can reiterate it and submit the form back on the registration desk. You can tick against the company whom you would want to meet, the name of the company, the sector they are working in, and the country they are from is circulated to all the Indian delegates through their folders. And you can come back for the program tomorrow to meet these delegates. So that's how we are planning to promote the trade and commerce between the countries. This B2B we have been working on for quite some time to make the Indian partners meet the Indian partners or prospective partners, and I'm sure that this kind of an association will bring in a whole lot of things, and I don't want to again take away things from the President's speech, which will give us some very, very encouraging facts which are almost unbelievable in terms of what has started happening already before we started the summit this morning. So that's a very, very encouraging thing. Another thing which I'd like to share with all of you is that we have a very renowned artist, Guru Shobna Narayan. She is an icon for Kathak dance in India. For all my ASEAN friends who are here, Kathak is a very well-established form of traditional dance, and we have Guru Shobna Narayan performing this evening. So all those who would be keen to attend that, please make sure that you are here in the evening as well. I must also acknowledge one more thing, which is the support which we also got from the Trade Commissioner's Office of the Government of Malaysia, Mr. Faisal. I would like to really thank you for all your help and support. And he was here in Delhi especially to meet us and to take things forward. And we see the keenness of what Malaysia wants to really do with India to a large extent. So we have the Honorable Minister with us. Can we welcome him with a big round of applause, please? Can we invite the dignitaries right away for lighting the lamp, please?